Emergency services don't just react. Proactive patrolling with the help of the public often uncovers emergencies in progress and can sometimes avert disaster. Tonight, a police patrol uncovers a house on fire. Stopping a car for speeding reveals a bail breach and sets off a fiery female.
Stay there in the car.
What?
Observant motorists alert police to an aggressive cabbie.
You can't go grabbing people and dragging them back to the car.
An Eagle joins forces with police patrols to hunt for armed robbers of a TAB. That's One Night in Auckland, responding to 111. Police incident cars are constantly patrolling our streets. In South Auckland, a patrol car has discovered an emergency in progress at a house that's well known to police. Constables Chris and Kyle are providing backup.
Got a call from one of our other units at an address at a house fire or possible house fire. We don't exactly know what it is yet. So they are very, very well known to police, that address. They're not too fond of us, but obviously if the house is on fire, they're going to need our help. So
they're also going to need help from the fire service. Police call Fire Comms and Tanya dispatches 2 crews.
House fire, Clendon Park.
While they wait for the fire crews, police take every precaution by evacuating the neighbours.
Just get these people out of their house. Yeah. Look, need you guys, obviously, I know you guys want to get close, but we just want you to stay away just in case. Comms MG31.
MG31, go ahead.
Yeah, we've just spoken to the people who've just left the address and just come back stating there's no one in the house.
Roger, so you've evacuated houses either side, is that correct?
Yeah, just as precaution at the moment.
En route, Alex gets an update from police on the scene.
We've just had a call back from the police saying that the house is not well involved. There's smoke showing from the eaves. Manurewa should be there before we get there. Hopefully it's not too bad.
Oh no, it's gone through the roof.
Nah, it's in the roof.
With the fire spreading into the roof, there's a risk it could erupt into flames at any moment.
The kitchen's stove has caught fire for some reason, we're not too sure why. But yeah, it's just starting to get done, so if the fire can get in now, they can put it out and there shouldn't be too much damage.
Seconds later, the first fire crew arrive. Because the house is well known to police, Kyle warns the firefighters to take extra precaution.
Nah, obviously we don't know what they've got in the house. It's in the kitchen, you can see it's fiery, so yeah, but just prepared for you guys. No, if we've been around the back and it's in the kitchen. It's not very often that obviously a police unit comes across a fire before the fireys do. But it's lucky they were here, because obviously the fire's not too bad at the moment. But if it was another 5-10 minutes later, the whole house could be gone.
So on this occasion, the occupants might be grateful the police were patrolling. But they might not be happy when the fire crew investigates the cause. A desperate 111 call alerts St John to a medical emergency.
Tell me exactly what's happened.
My mother-in-law's just fainted into the door and then fell onto the table, and then all of a sudden she stopped breathing and she's coming in and out of consciousness.
Okay.
You got to come here quick.
I'm organising the ambulance while we speak, okay?
The call taker sends details to emergency medical dispatcher Alan, who radios the ambulance crew.
Priority 1, Glendowie, code 31 Delta 3.
So we're going to a 40-year-old female that has had a faint episode, and she's fainted and went headfirst into a door and then fell backwards onto a wooden table, and she's stopped breathing.
After getting the house fire under control, the firefighters begin to investigate its cause.
There's been a pan on the stove. It's caught fire. It's probably gone up the extractor, and quite often it gets up into the ceiling. So we're going to have to bang a hole in the ceiling here to check to make sure that the fire hasn't got into the ceiling. We'll put a cloth here. This is fairly common. There's campaigns on all the time. Keep looking while you're cooking. People still put pans on the stove and walk away. We go to one of them every week.
They must ensure the fire is completely extinguished. Any wires or embers left to reignite could have disastrous consequences. The arrival of Shandon Jack is a huge relief for the worried family of a woman who has collapsed.
And then it was like she had a seizure, she stopped breathing and...
Stop breathing, okay.
Yeah,
Was she shaking?
She did it at first, but then she stopped and I gave her CPR and mouth.
Okay, all right.
Any shortness of breath or pain in your chest or anything like that?
She hit the floor.
Yeah, hit that table.
Hit that table.
Fully onto her back and then onto the ground.
Okay. Well, the only thing we can do for you is take you up to the hospital, get you checked out. Because we obviously can't explain why you've had a wee faint.
En route to hospital, Jack hears the patient's version of events.
So you don't remember what happened, but you do remember standing up and you felt faint.
Yeah, that's all I really remember. I was just feeling all woozy and clammy and sort of broke out and sleep.
By investigating the background circumstances, the ambulance crew has discovered it might not be as serious as her family feared.
Yeah, with all their good intentions, they got it a bit wrong. She's obviously been unwell for a week or so with the flu, so she fainted because her blood pressure was low. He's obviously come into the lounge and found her to be unresponsive, and she might not have had a radial pulse because of her low blood pressure. He directed a family member to call the ambulance straight away, so they did the right thing there.
Violent attacks and customers who refuse to pay are hazards of the job for Auckland's many taxi drivers. Sometimes it all gets too much, as police dispatcher Bridget is about to discover.
We've got a taxi driver who's punching a customer in the head.
The taxi driver was yelling at the informant.
Police dispatcher Bridget is directing a patrol car to an aggressive taxi driver.
It's currently flagged close to Simon Street. We're trying to get further details.
Constables Sean and Scott soon find the taxi and the passenger who's dazed and unintelligible. Either the effects of a bashing or a big night out on the town.
He must be decided things that I don't think that's kosher.
You're quite drunk, eh?
No, I know that, but I don't need...
To get to the bottom of it, Bridget rounds up the witnesses who called police.
Yeah, has the informant returned to your location?
They have, which means Scott can get a clearer picture.
He was just saying to swear at us, telling us like off and shit. Who was the taxi driver?
So when we got here, he gave me his American Express card.
American Express, yeah.
So I asked him if he could provide some photo ID.
Sure.
But he refused. He just tried to walk away.
Okay. So why did you leave the cab without paying?
Well, I did. I gave him a card, yeah.
Yeah, but you need to sign the receipt and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I said, yeah, I would. And he said, help me.
Well, there's apparently that he's dragged this guy back to his car pretty much.
From where?
From just the four-wheel drive, so he's dragged him this way.
You can't go grabbing people and dragging them back to the car. Okay, I understand that people run away from you all the time and don't pay, but actually dragging them back to the point where people driving past have to phone us up and say there's a guy being beaten up. It obviously didn't look very good, and he's got grazes on his pants and his scratches around his neck, but he's quite drunk and he doesn't want to make a complaint, just wants to go home, all right? So it will be recorded what's happened tonight, and at this stage it's not going to go any further, but you need to understand that if it happens again, you may end up being charged, all right?
I try not to...
Keep your cool, man, all right?
With the fare finally paid, the cabbie heads back to work. Hopefully his next passengers catch him in a better mood. The fire crew are securing the South Auckland house. They've checked out the wiring and the roof.
Now, apparently the only wire that's burnt is the one coming down to the stove. If we can turn the lights back on, at least they might be able to stay here tonight.
Yeah, I'll go and get the lights going.
Returning to find their house swarming with police and firefighters is a shock for the occupants. Alex breaks the news.
We've got the lights going again, so you could probably stay there tonight. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a smoke alarm in there. We just happen to have a spare one and we'll put it in for you.
Thank you very much.
There's a little bit of smoke drifting around the ceiling, but it's above head high, and it shouldn't bother you.
Thank you very much.
My nephew left the oil on in the house in the kitchen. Terrible mistake.
It could have been a lot worse. Nobody got hurt, nobody got burnt. The house will be repaired. Just hope they know better the next time.
Constables Bobson and Jag are patrolling when they spot a speeding car packed full of unrestrained children.
Jesus. A lot of kids, eh? You're gonna get tickets. You're gonna get tickets on this. Yeah, you were overspeeding, mate. How old is the child in the back seat?
5 years old.
The one in the corner?
Yes.
He's 5, okay.
Yes.
And why isn't she wearing seatbelt? And he hasn't got any seatbelt on. I'm gonna have to fine you for those. You just want to wait here? Probably want to turn your car off.
A check reveals the driver's bail conditions forbid him from associating with his partner. Police suspect that could be his female passenger. However, she's not keen on revealing her identity.
Look, man, I require details under Section 114 of the Transport Act, okay? If you refuse to give or fail to provide... Hold on, I'm speaking here. Hey. I require you to give me your details or produce any ID to confirm your details. If you refuse to do so, you would be detained and arrested.
Another woman is causing trouble at a central city supermarket. Bridget dispatches constables Matt and Nell.
She was there trying to buy alcohol.
She's been refused and it was then smashing bottles outside the Scotland Street entrance.
Could be 10-2 from Cara.
Currently, she's still sitting outside,
Yelling abuse and bothering the public.
Matt and Nell discover the woman has just been dumped by her boyfriend and has been drowning her sorrows with a few too many drinks.
I just need to go home. I've been trying and I've been calling cabs.
Yeah, okay, you're all right, you're all right.
I'm not okay.
Do you want to come sit down on the stairs while we wait to sort this out? How much? $20. Yeah, that's the end of the story.
Give me one bottle.
A beer.
Wait,
No, walk away.
The last thing she needs is another drink.
We're going to do you a favour and bring you home, but that's it, OK? So we just need the $20. Excellent. So here's your receipt and your change. You all right? You're not in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble.
Okay?
It might not cure her heartbreak, but taking her home will ensure she's safe off the street. This driver was caught speeding with a car full of unrestrained children. To make matters worse, his female passenger is a woman with whom he is forbidden to have contact.
Part of your bail condition is not to associate with her, which you have failed to do right here, okay? You're associating with her
She's
right
the
now.
one who gave me a call.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're not allowed to associate with her.
Just stay there.
Why?
Just stay there in the car. Just stay there in the car.
What for?
Because I'm telling you to. Just go and have a seat. I'll just come and talk to you later, eh? Just go and sit.
Rubbish.
All right, listen up, okay?
You look busted.
Look.
You're arrested for breach of bail.
She's the one who
Put your hands behind your back.
Hey!
What are you doing?
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Hey, you're going to be sprayed.
What are you doing?
Hey, move away. Hey, look, put your hands behind your back.
Yeah, put your hands
behind your back.
Later.
Move away.
Putting them.
Because he's under arrest for breach of bail.
Why?
Breach of bail.
It takes both officers and 2 sets of handcuffs to secure the driver. Fortunately, his passengers aren't stranded. Their destination is the party across the road. Back at Manukau Police Station, the driver will be relieved of his restrictive plastic handcuffs.
They'll cut that off inside. They've got the tools.
Across town, Constables Brad and Seamus are patrolling Balmoral when they are alerted to a serious violent crime. A TAB bar owner has been threatened with guns. Dispatcher Ollie relays the details.
Cash has been taken. There was a shotgun and a pistol presented. 3 male offenders ran off on foot. It's Jack's bar.
Eagles in the area.
Heat-sensitive infrared cameras on board the police chopper Eagle could provide vital clues to the ground patrols and Delta dog units.
Bomb Delta 17. My guess that there's been a car involved. We have tracked around the corner, but from there, nothing. Copy.
So patrol cars will need to be on the lookout for suspicious vehicles.
BLI 25, what's your location?
We're just tooling up.
The robbers are armed and dangerous. In life-and-death situations where weapons are involved, the shift sergeant arrives to hand out Glock pistols and protective vests to officers who could be placed at risk.
Run away on foot.
saying that our dog is tracked and has not managed to track very far, so it's likely they've hopped in a vehicle. We've just put some Glocks on, so just in case we do have to pull over a suspicious vehicle, and that we're armed just so we can obviously defend ourselves against whatever they've got.
Eagle has identified a suspicious vehicle that could be the getaway car for 3 armed men who robbed a Balmoral TAB.
BLI 25, where is it?
Constables Brad and Seamus respond.
Yeah, BLI, come out, turn left onto Dominion, the first right is Kennington, and we'll direct you from there. Yeah, BLI, car on your left now. The tyres are warm and engine's glowing like it's just recently been driven. Also, on the opposite side of the road to you, there's a warm patch where a car has recently been sitting that is since damaged. You got me, we'll run up through and have a look.
Brad investigates the empty car, but can't find any sign that it was involved in the robbery. He and Seamus await further instructions as Eagle continues to hunt for other suspicious cars.
BLI. Can you just come up to Mount Eden Road, just where the shops are, just through to your car for us? It's been very 1C, it's been driving around this headlights off sort of and picked it up on a residential street. I got you there, mate, just there's a black 4x4.
Brad and Seamus know they need to approach the car with extreme caution. The robbers are armed and dangerous.
Priority 12 Weymouth Road, Manurewa, Copeland.
St John Emergency Medical Dispatcher Mandy has received a call from worried police.
Patients at the bus stop near the railway station, so it could be in the bus depot there.
We're on the way to someone who was supposedly intoxicated at a bus stop, and I believe the police may be there as well.
Following a spate of teens dying from alcohol poisoning, police aren't taking any chances.
He's been throwing up uncontrollably, as you can see, since we've been here.
Okay.
Basically, I think he's had way too much to drink.
My name's Chris, this is Janelle. Had anything else? Just the alcohol? Yeah,
Chris and Janelle know that binge drinking can have fatal consequences, so they need to monitor this teenager closely.
We'll just pop you in the back of the ambulance, eh, bud? And we'll do the checks in there and then we'll go from there, eh? Yeah? You right to stand up? Aim for that white bed in there, bro. That's it.
And if you're going to spew, give me fair warning, please. I only put one uniform tonight.
Eagle is keeping close tabs on patrol car BLI 25 as Brad approaches a suspicious car that might have been involved in an aggravated robbery.
Sorry, sir. Just we're looking for some people who just robbed a store, and we just the helicopter saw that you were acting a little bit suspicious around the shops. That's all.
I was being followed by a motorbike.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went down to my place and turned around and came back up.
Okay. You just said you had your lights off, and you were just sort of.
I didn't realise I did.
Okay. Yeah, look, I'll let you
Following up the stalking motorbike, we'll have to take a back seat. Right now, Brad's priority is finding the armed robbers. Eagle can't see any other suspicious cars, so the crew heads back to Jack's Bar for a final flyover to check they haven't missed anything. This is not the first time Jack's Bar has been targeted by armed robbers. In 2003, 4 men armed with handguns made off with a large sum of money. The shaken staff will need to work out exactly how much was taken this time, and with no immediate leads, the constable's work is done. The job will now be handed over to CIB detectives who will continue to hunt for the offenders. Chris and Janelle are delivering a drunk teenager home to his parents.
We can't really leave him there in the public place. He's got to have someone looking after him. Obviously, we don't want young people drinking out there and then choking on their vomit. Choking in your sleep, you don't always wake up, and then ultimately you die.
Step down.
The task of cleaning up this messy patient will be left to his parents. Having extinguished the house fire, the fire crew is heading back to base. Driving past a local school, they see something suspicious. Smoke appears to be wafting over the playing field. They need to investigate. Arson attacks on schools cause millions of dollars worth of damage each year.
I don't know what it's fog or mist or maybe some smoke, I don't know. Can you find the main entrance? We'll try and get over the fence here. I don't like climbing over them.
You got a ladder in there?
Yeah, we got a ladder. No, we got a ladder.
A fireman without a ladder is like a builder without a hammer.
Can you see anything? doesn't look like anything's burning. I'd still like to get in and check it out, though. Pass him the ladder.
I can smell smoke. It looks like there's smoke coming from there, so must be smoke. Up to you, Zay. These are the firemen.
Yeah, the guy who lives in this house behind us reckons he can smell the smoke.
He's not standing next to you, Alex, because you've just been standing next to a fire.
Can you still smell the smoke?
Yeah.
It's not off my tunic, is it?
Don't know. Maybe.
Where there's smoke, there's usually fire, but not in this case. The mysterious smoke turns out to be a combination of a still night, low fog, and a smelly fireman's uniform.
Come back to the truck.
Certain the school is safe, the crew can finally return to base. Reaching bail earned the speeding driver a night behind bars. Detectives are still hunting for the armed robbers who broke into the TAB at Jack's Bar. And the drunk teen got a stern telling off and was grounded by his parents. Next on 111. An out-of-control party tests the patience of police. A late-night partygoer gets comfy on K Road. And another bloke resorts to desperate measures to get home by hitchhiking in a skirt.